Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. How are you guys doing on this Saturday afternoon? Afternoon for me, could be morning for you, evening for you, or as it is for Harry here, it's time for his cardio session. So perfect timing for his cardio session. I know Harry's a big gym slash fitness enthusiast. So yeah, shouts out to Harry. Christian, who's walking his dog at this time. Just want to say, if we don't win, sharpen your pitchforks and light those torches. Yeah, probably Christian. Probably is it's real. It gets real sticky if we don't win. If we don't win, it gets real sticky for Inzaghi, for those players, um, for us as fans. It will become difficult. But if this very inconsistent Inter team, when you think about it, if you think about it logically, or like how things have been going this season, like after a big result, so like after Porto, the expected loss or draw which we got against Bologna, we got the loss. Napoli win, Monza draw. Like it always seems to be like this with Inter. But at the same time, when we lose, this season there usually is a bounce back. So if we think about it in this weird logical Jekyll and Hyde Inter, in theory, this should be, the bounce back match. This should be the almost guaranteed win, because that's how Inter have been this season. They go from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, and then it's just been a roller coaster of a season with this Inter team, especially in the league, in the Champions League, and in the cup we've been much better, but in the league it's not been a very consistent Inter. So hoping that we don't bounce back like a deflated basketball, as Edin says. I hope it's a fully pumped up basketball, ready to bounce back and ready to be netted, ready to nice 3-pointer. Literally, we need 3 points. That's all we can do if we want to draw basketball comparisons. Mr. Jesus in house, what's up, brother? If we don't win, I'll go crazy. Mighty Mal, yeah. I don't blame you, and I wouldn't blame you. And you probably see a lot of Inter fans go crazy if we don't win. Inter brother, what's up? What's up, Stefan? Hope you're doing well. Mighty Marlboro, Inter players need a therapist, so this out of consistency. Yeah, well, we know what they need, Mighty Mal. We've realized that these guys need a sergeant. They need a guy that shouts at them. They need Antonio Conte. He fixed our mentality when he came in, and then it seems like since then we haven't been able to keep that mentality, that getting result over the line, whatever happens. Yeah. And oh no, my internet already is looking, apologies if it is flagging up. I don't know why it is doing that. But if it gets a big glitch, you know why. My internet is not. Oh no, it's doing it again. Do not do this to me right now. This is not the time. Anyway, let's continue. Try ignore my internet. What's good, Luca Russo? Hope you are doing well. Sub Shams about to hit the pool with my son. I'm worried about this one again. Just enjoy the pool, bro. Just enjoy the pool. Enjoy the time with your son. Cherish that. Don't worry about Inter too much. These guys will make you bold. They will make you stress all the time. The artist Javier Wagwan, brother. Hope you are doing well. You're doing well. I predict Napoli will lose. Stefan says, interesting. Well done. I mean, they have to lose. Like, there's no way. Like, this Napoli team isn't a super team. Like, there's no way they could have gone the whole season with just like one loss. Like, they need to at least have, like, realistically, like 3 or 4 losses by the end of the season. They're not a super team. They're not like a crazy. They're performing like a super team, but they shouldn't be running away with this league as they are. So hopefully some things balance out. But yeah, I don't see. I saw some people yesterday tweeting like, "Oh, Scudetto could be reopened. This could be the chance of Inter or Milan sneaking back in." No, they need to lose lots of more games for that to happen, and the other teams need to continue winning non-stop for that to happen, which is unlikely. If we lose, it will look really bad at Zaghi after all. New coach news, yeah, 100%, 100%. I still don't think he won't be fired even if we lose tomorrow. It will be a case of, with top four, if we drop out of top four, it looks like we're not getting top four, then the management might have to, make a decision that probably don't want to make within the season. I think pretty much, obviously, unless it's a catastrophe, I think Inzaghi will definitely ride the season out until the end of the season, as he should as well. But if things, do go sour in the league, and it looks like, top four is everything to Inter. If we don't get top four, that Champions League money is, basically keeping us afloat. Is basically, once you lose that 40-50 million from the Champions League, then we are in big trouble. Big trouble. Thoughts on Tuku not getting the call? I mean, he's injured. Luca, at the moment. So yeah, he's the him, Di Marco, and Skriniar. So we've got 3 injured players at the moment. Skriniar and Di Marco still doubts. They might make the squad, but it looks like they're definitely not starting tomorrow. Correa is still not in the squad, but yeah, not a particularly big loss. Thoughts about the players want saying we approached the game wrong. We didn't want to win enough type comments. Yeah, I mean, if you guys saw, let me see if I can get it up. Hakan spoke again to media outlet. It's tiring. It's the same stuff over and over. How many times have they, Future Hendricks, this season, we've read about they're having a meeting, just the players without the coaching staff. They're having a meeting by themselves. They know what's been going wrong. They're like, talking it out. I've read it at least 3 or 4 times this season. Like, how many of these meetings are they going to have? How many times are we going to hear? We know what the issues are. You're not going out onto the pitch against these smaller teams with the same hunger, with the same desire, with the same concentration as you do in the big games. You're not taking your chances as well, for sure. I mean, against Bologna, we didn't have too many, but still not taking your chances. Not being clinical enough. You know what the issues are. It's tiring, to be honest, hearing the same stuff over and over again and not being addressed. They keep saying it, but I don't see it being addressed. It's very, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. And yeah, thank you, Anti-Juice. We did it. 5K. So once I'll get a few more people come into the chat, into the stream, and I'll do the announcement for the draw, for the giveaway draw for the Inter kit. So one of you guys who commented on my last video, if you haven't done it, go do it now. Don't moan at me afterwards. There's 120 or 130 something entries. So comment, thumbs up, and you have to be subscribed from my last video. And yeah, we'll do the draw. But yeah, thank you guys. 5K subs. It's been a slow, steady grind. My channel's been going for like over 3 years, so it's not been a smooth sailing or just like up and up. I mean, it's up and up, but sometimes you just hit those plateaus. Sometimes it feels like this is the max it will ever get because it's a small niche we're into. Inter fans, but English speaking. Like Serie A already is a small niche, then Inter is a smaller niche within that, and then the English speaking niche within that is even smaller. So yeah, it's good to see 5K, and obviously the aim is to hopefully get to 10K one day. So let's try and get that, and with your help and support, we will get there. So appreciate your support. Thank you, everyone. Cartel, what's up? Do you think we can go far in UCL? Yeah, as I always say, even last season, Mighty Mao, the UCL always depends on the draw you get. Last year, if we had Ajax as we were originally supposed to have instead of Liverpool last year already, I think we would have gone further into the competition. And this year again, we have a good chance to do it. Depends on who. If we do get past Porto first, that's not given. Let's not look ahead already. It's a difficult game in the second leg. But yeah, definitely we can go far. We can go far. It seems like Inzaghi set them on fire. Let's see if the show's on the page. Yeah, I saw his words today. Let me see if I can bring up his quick sempre interval, have his translated interview or press conference from today. So apparently, according to Inzaghi, we've learned from our mistakes against Bologna. Won't be an easy match against inform Lecce. Speaking to Inter TV, we come into this match feeling some anger. We can't wait to get onto the pitch. So I hope they this word anger, I hope we see that not necessarily in anger, but kind of you know, used in the right manner to show Bologna, get them out of there as quickly as possible. Don't give them any confidence. It is a tricky team. They're a giant killer this year, Lecce. After Bologna, we analysed the mistakes we made and learned from them. In order to put the inconsistency we suffer from, we have to show focus and a determined mentality. Yeah, as we just said with Future Hendricks just now, Inzaghi repeating similar stuff that we've been hearing all year, or since he's becoming into coach. We're coming up to almost 2 years that he's coaching this team, and we're seeing similar issues when it comes to this consistency, focus, determination, whatever you want to call it. There's something missing a little bit, as much as, of course, also blame has to go on the ownership, the squad building from Marotta, Ozili, all that kind of stuff is true, but there is that little bit extra that we need from the guys in Inzaghi. The team are great guys and a great group. Like, there's no doubts about this. Like, we know that this is a great group of people, of guys, that the chemistry is good within the dressing room. But yeah, to win, you need a bit more. Being great guys, being a great group isn't enough. That's a good base. That's a good foundation. And we know we have that foundation from when we won the Scudetto. A lot of the team is still quite, there's a lot of that team is still here. We know we have a lot of captains and leaders in this team, but that's not enough. You need that extra bit of focus, determination, and quality. The match against Lecce will be difficult. They're informed, blah, blah, blah. They play excellent football, excellent season. They are having an excellent season. We'll have to stay absolutely switched on. Inzaghi noted of his squad that the players are very open to changing roles, considering how often we have to play and suspensions and injuries we have to deal. Oh, I think the translation there isn't quite correct. He's probably talking about rotating squad, or like rotating the players around. Asked what his bigger regret of the season so far is, the coach responded that we could have done better in the league. We could have done a lot better in the league. But we also have to not forget about all the positive things we've done in the past 18 months, obviously. Yeah, he's admitting, they should have done better in the league, but then also pushing positive light as well, which obviously he's going to do that to, save his ass. But we know the league performance in both years, not just this year, last year wasn't good enough. Just imagine Juve getting the points. We'll see what happens with that. But even if that happens, it means they're not in a particularly great situation. Even if they get those 15 points back, they go ahead of us. Which is embarrassing as it is. I mean, Lazio overtook us yesterday, where Juve go on 50 points, so they're still 15 points off. It doesn't really. You can create all these scenarios as much as you want, Eduardo, but a 15-point gap, I can't even imagine these scenarios that people are creating. Brad the Lad says Inter to win 3-0 tomorrow. Hope Brad the Lad is 100% correct. That would be the best way to bounce back. Yeah, I mean, I thought about this as well. I don't know if it's like, just being negative or what, but I mean, he was injured at the beginning of this season as well. Skriniar, let's not forget, he was injured for like the whole summer. The first time he had like a real serious injury when he got injured with Slovakia. But I know what you mean. I thought about that. I was like, you never usually get injured, and what's happened all of a sudden here? Arsenal was supposed to win EPL, but they are losing 2-0 already. Napoli can drop the ball. Yeah, but Arsenal are not 15 points clear, Eduardo, or 18 points as it was yesterday or the other day. So the situation is nowhere near comparable. If teams were in touching distance, and it is a Man City chasing Arsenal, not an Inter or AC Milan, a Man City, who are, one of the best teams of this past 4 or 5 years. They're a super team. I mean, even though they're not the same Man City as they have been recently, that's a different type of team chasing you. Not these farting Lazio, Inters, and Milans, and Romas, and Juves. It's a different level of team chasing them. What's good, King Darian? Good to see you in the house as usual. Napoli's been in very good form. Other teams have been really bad. Yeah, but that's Napoli. Like, they just get the job done, even if they're not playing amazing every single game. So it's They just even when they're not playing well, they take their chances, which is what we're not been doing. Thank you, Raji. Appreciate the support. What's up, Nicola? I was so tired. I missed the game. No, bro. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. kickoff. We'll get into the preview in a moment. I'll do the draw first. Get that out of the way. How is Umtiti? Really hope my man gets. Yeah, he's been okay. Umtiti. I saw that Inter were linked with him for some reason other than Gazzetta, but again, I don't understand why they keep linking left-footed centre-backs as the Skriniar replacement. Obviously, we're not going to replace the right centre-back over 3 with a left-footed player. Like, I don't understand why they keep talking about Ndika or, Umtiti or these left-footed centre-backs. Okay, if you're talking about maybe the Vrij, Acerbi position in the centre, then yeah, or the Bastoni backup, then okay. But yeah, but he's not actually played. He's played more than he has in recent years. But I think let's have a look. He's been virtually, or like by his standards, less injured than he has been in the last few years. Let's have a look at his numbers. So he'll probably be starting tomorrow. I'll have a look at the predicted lineups in a moment. 50% of the minutes he's been in the starting 11. So yeah, half, 12 appearances. So he started off the season on the bench, and then yeah, look, he's been unmoved since like game week 9 almost, and then a couple of bench. Had a hamstring injury one game, so he missed the last game. So let's see. But yeah, better. But yeah, he's definitely not the same Umtiti anymore for sure. Sunit, why Dzeko? But yeah, you know what it is, Sunit. It's like between Dzeko and Lukaku at the moment, it's 50-50. None of them are convincing at the moment. When Dzeko starts, like against Porto, he wasn't convincing. Then Lukaku came on. We're hoping Lukaku comes back to his best, but Lukaku was okay against Bologna. He bullied Sosa a few times physically, but it wasn't the type of performance where you're like, yes, this is the Lukaku we want to see. So you can see why, like, it's still 50-50 between Dzeko and Lukaku in terms of starting. So I don't blame Inzaghi on that. We're not good enough. Yeah, I just don't even like. It doesn't even register to me how people are even thinking about that right now. Like if it gets to like we're talking about 5 or 6 points, then I can start talking like, okay, this is possible. Like, come on, we can do this. But 15 points, like, are you guys serious? Like that's anything above 10 points is like almost impossible to me. So crazy. Yeah, we're still in for Thuram. We've made the offer, Zunzu. You don't need to be hearing like once the offer has been made to Thuram, we've made an offer to him around 5 million euros net, which is a very good offer. Yeah, so let's see. He was going to take him time to consider offers from Premier League, of course. I've heard Athletic are interested. Pi and Bayern apparently were interested. So he's got plenty of options. So let's see. We'll also have to wait for him to make his decision. Him to have made their offer to Thuram and his entourage. Yeah. That's why, I always say this on my I always try to remind people, like, guys, let's not comment. Like, every time someone is linked to us, there's no need to comment about every single guy that's named to us. Like, if Gazzetta just says a name out there, doesn't mean like we need to stop talking about this guy. Like, it's just a lot of the times they're just throwing names out there. Whether it has any substance to it, most of the time probably not. Or they might be on a list, I'm sure the list of interest that players Inter are interested in is very long, but there's no need to. It's exhausting commenting on every single link that you hear on the timeline or on Gazzetta or these new news outlets. It's I always try to actually take a step back. I think people that follow me know that. But yeah, there's enough people in the house. What's up, Adriel? I'm gonna do the draw for the kit for the possible winner of the new or any Inter kit. To be honest, just DM me afterwards, whoever wins, and we can sort out whichever type of kit you want. Yeah, no, 100%, Freddie. We should definitely everything. We should that is the focus now. We shouldn't forget that we need to still secure the top four in the league. But yeah, focus is 100% to get as far as we can in the semis, in the UCLs. That would be amazing if you make UCL semis top four. I don't really care about Coppa Italia. Like that's still a decent, pretty good season to me. On a European level, is an amazing season. Historic by Inter's last decade. Which is sad to say, but it's true. So I hope we do get a good Champions League run. That would be yeah, we need it as a fan base. We deserve it as a fan base, to be honest. We really do. Really do. But yeah, let's get into, so let me get the link for my last video and enter this into a random YouTube comment picker. Get the link. Videos, no, live. And it was the Mourinho. Oh no, it is videos, yeah, not the live. It was the Mourinho Klopp to replace Inzaghi. Yeah, it was a bit clickbaity, but I mean, the newspaper did use Klopp's name in there, so it wasn't as clickbaity. I just used their clickbait. So yeah, we go. I'm picking so I'm doing a different website from last time round. Oh wait, this is a Facebook comment picker. We need a YouTube comment picker. Yeah, there you go. YouTube comment picker. We copy and paste the YouTube ID in there. Filter duplicate users. Yes. No, we need to do animation. Ooh, wheel of names. That sounds quite cool. Solve sum. 4 + 4 = 8. So there we go. We ready, guys? We are doing the live draw for the winner of the Interkit. Amount of unique comments 111. Start. And the winner is Uche. Uche A is the winner. I think he is a channel member as well. So yeah, I recognize the name for sure. And his comment was, "No, thank you to all except Motta, maybe." Oh, so he's a Thiago Motta fan. Inzaghi needs a year where we spend good money on the market, give him like 3 signings he wants, get rid of the dead weight, Dumfries, Gags, etc. If he's still poor in the league, then sure, we can let him go. Any coach we get to replace him without injection in the market is going to do just about the same or worse than Inzaghi did. He hasn't gotten a fair shot. So congratulations to Uche. So Uche, if you're here, or if you're watching this afterwards, or I'll message you. So congratulations to Uche for winning the Interkit. So I'll get in touch with Uche after this, and thank you everyone that entered into the draw. Saturnian in the house, of course. If you guys are on Twitter, you must know the Interfan trigger machine, the rattling machine. But he's very right about Baschirotto. He's had a very, I wouldn't even say most underrated. I feel like he's almost getting overrated with this Baschirotto guy. If you follow like the Italian like media and like, Caressa, the Italian analysts on TV was saying that Inter should sign Baschirotto if they sell Skriniar. I feel like he's gone from being like, this kind of unknown guy to like being almost overrated. But yeah, he's had a very, very good season for Lecce. But he's not actually playing tomorrow. I think if we look at the I think he's got a suspension. Yeah. So tomorrow he's actually, I know I used him in the thumbnail, even though I knew this, but it was a good thumbnail, him, fighting with Lukaku, battling with Lukaku. But yeah, Baschirotto is a big miss for them. Big miss for them. Okereke, yeah, he's a decent player. He's okay. But, mid-table Serie A player. Like, yeah, I think he deserves better than, last year he was at Venezia, this year he's at Cremonese. It's a shame, like, yeah, these are relegation battling teams. I think he deserves, nice mid-table team. Got a decent pace, good right foot. Top 4 challenge crept on us. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, yesterday Lazio with the win has changed the top 4 race for sure. Like, we cannot be comfortable with the top 4 race. We cannot be comfortable. Not feeling good about Lecce match. Nick Snock says, yeah. As I said, Nick Snocks, I don't know if you saw my beginning, but if we think about it logically, how Inter have been this season, like after, obviously we lose against after the big game, we win Napoli and Porto, these kind of games, and we lose or draw, but then there's usually always a bounce back. So I'm expecting this to be the bounce back match if this inconsistent Inter team are consistent with how inconsistent they've been. Does that make sense? Did I just confuse you or myself? Oraharo Scenario A, Fabrizio in the house. Make sure you guys check him out if you want to know what's going on the red and black side of Milan, the inferior side of Milan. Chazia just tuned in. What's your thoughts on yesterday's Napoli defeat? Yeah, no, I didn't watch the game, so I watched the highlights. Yeah, it looks like a good defensive performance by Lazio and maybe a flat Napoli performance, but not much to really think about. Like, 15 points now. It's getting tight. It is what it is. Like, as I said, they need to lose more games. Like, there's no way that this Napoli team should be going to till the end of the season with just 2 losses. Like, they need to be losing in reality 3 or 4 games this season, because they're not this like mad super team as their performance is showing at the moment. I think there's definitely a bit of overperformance in there. Yeah, Satriano scored today. I watched the Monza game. Sensi wasn't great, but Satriano, he's been okay. Unfortunately, he's only scored 2 goals. He works hard. He does a lot of donkey work, and like you can never fault him for his hard work, the grinta, the effort he puts in. But yeah, he hasn't had the development that we were hoping from Satriano, unfortunately. Eurochance is confident with a 2-0 win. Nice. You think we can somehow convince Zielinski to change cities in the summer? Bro, you know the answer to that question. I mean, Napoli is a hard team to buy players from in the first place. So even if we had money, Napoli is a difficult place to buy players from. Big up white suburban kid. True, we are like a seesaw area. Yeah, it's literally like a roller coaster seesaw, however you want to say it. Yeah, that would be amazing. Semis in the UCL. We've been consistently inconsistent all season. Exactly. Anyway, let's get into the what's it called? Preview. Yeah, 100% Demetrius. Last year, that's what when Inzaghi came in. That's the thing. It sounds weird, but I would rather lose the big matches as long as if you told me that you'd lose six games or 4 or 5 games and you can't win title with losing 6 games, it's impossible. But like if you told me that out of the games that you lose is only going to be like the big teams and you win all the other ones, I would pick that because the majority is what matters. The majority of the league isn't big teams. And last year, I seemed like with Inzaghi, I was so much more confident compared to the Conte regime against smaller teams. It was the big games that were really like last year flopping in. Whereas this year, well, literally this year, even this season, at the beginning of the season, we lost against Lazio, Milan. It still was an issue. But then this year, like 2023, after we beat Napoli, we beat Porto, the big matches, we started to turn up. But yeah, it is now like Inzaghi's been there long enough, so it's clearly some form of the team is made in the coach's image, and he's been here long enough that this is this team is in Inzaghi's image, so it is on him. But yeah, I do miss last season when I used to be much more comfortable against the smaller teams. We used to play that Limone ball really was made against the smaller teams. Like we used to just this rotation of positions, everything used to work really well against the smaller teams, apart from obviously when we flopped against Bologna and things like that, which obviously happened as well. But yeah, so tomorrow, as I said, Baschirotto for Lecce first. Let's look at Lecce. Sky Sport have just changed their graphics now. No more of those, hopefully no more of those weird graphics where people have no image or the wrong image. But yeah, so no Baschirotto, which is a massive miss for them. Massive miss. He's their leader at the back. He is their pillar. So Umtiti and Tuya I don't know if they've played together yet this season, so new centre back partnership are always a weakness. Hulman, he's another one who's had a great season. We were linked with him when they were in Serie B last year as a potential vice Brozovic. He's had a good season. He's been linked. I think Leicester even tried to buy him in the January window, but Lecce wanted I think more than 20 million. And then these guys also been in decent form. Strefezza's been really good this season. Di Francesco, all quick guys. Colombo's the Milan youth player. All decent players that have ended up making Lecce very, very comfortably. Like, usually these newly promoted teams struggle the first year, but Lecce 27 points, 10 points clear of relegation, really, really good season for them. I think, they probably are safe, because how bad Verona and Cremonese and Sampdoria, I think they probably are safe. They probably need a couple more wins, but yeah, great season, great debut season from them. And Baroni, the coach, very, very good work. And Mattia's here. Don't forget to like the video, everyone. Thank you, Mattia, for always reminding the peoples. Euro chance. If you saw rumors of Naby Keita as well, he's another one. As I said many times in this this year, you're gonna see so many links to Inter when it comes to free agents, and Naby Keita is one of them. The problem is Naby Keita, if we're talking about just ability level or like what he adds to this team, I do like Naby Keita, but unfortunately, this guy is like the Stefano Sensi of Liverpool, or like the Tucu Correa of Liverpool. Like, his injury record is so bad, like really, really bad. And he's just stagnated. He came from Leipzig. I think Liverpool spent like 50-60 million when they signed him from Leipzig. Was really, big up and coming talent, but he's just stagnated. He in terms of, if we talk about strictly profile, it's a nice addition to this team. We can link with Kessie so heavily, or just a more physical type player that has a bit more athleticism to him compared to the Hakans, the Brozos, and replacing Gagliardini as well in terms of physicality. But his wages as well. First of all, we'll have to see if we can get anywhere near that. But then even there, like, it's just too expensive if you're talking about a potential midfield rotation option. And we'll share hamstrings, like, but we're gonna be linked. We're going to be linked to like every single free transfer option out there. So embrace it. Going back to the predicted lineup, so basically, Verona, you're gonna have to just we're gonna have to be careful on the counter attack, because that's where they're gonna sit back. They're not like a modern, higher pressing type of team. They're gonna sit back. They're good at absorbing pressure. They're very gritty. They're a old school Italian team. If we bring up Lecce, show in the last game the type of average positions that they play. Where are they? Lecce. So last game they lost against Sassuolo. I watched the second half of that. They're always difficult to beat. So forget the average positions. So you see very compact team, mid to low block. But this year, they were playing at home, so there is a little bit higher than usual. But 4-3-3, pack the midfield, and then get these guys. Banda, he's also very threatening on the counter attack. As a substitute, Asan Cisse, Strefezza, tough team for sure to play against. And they have the goalkeeper's also been in good form as well. Falcone, the guy they signed from Sampdoria. So not an easy team for sure. No one plays Lord Gags, in terms of hatred, you mean? My dream midfield signing for Sangare from PSV. He's another one. He's been linked with like bigger clubs for a long time, and it just seems like he's also, I wouldn't say he's stagnating, but he could end up stagnating if he doesn't get his move soon. He's already what, 24, 25? Yeah, it's 25 years old, Sangare. But yeah, that's the type of midfielder that Inter do need, for sure. But again, yeah, as you said, we broke. In a fairy tale, Dahoud Hosseini would be, yeah. I mean, Dahoud is another one that I mentioned as well. But again, similar to Naby Keita, no, maybe not as bad as Naby Keita, but again, he big red flags physically, injury wise. But he in terms of wages, guys that come from Bundesliga in general, even if it's Dortmund, guys from Bundesliga, the wages are not an issue. And yeah, he would be, in terms of profile, he's kind of similar to Sensi. He's kind of a smaller, skinnier type of guy, more technical. So not that profile, that slightly different profile that maybe Inter need in terms of the physicality aspect, but in terms of technicality, a bit of dribbling ability, a bit of creativity. That's a guy that I would not mind. He's 27, I think, Dahoud as well. So you're not signing a guy that you're going to struggle to get rid of if it doesn't work out. And obviously you get the growth decree benefits as well from these types of guys. So you save on the gross cost of the wages as well. But yeah, 100%. Dahoud, Houssem Aouar said, I know Kamada looks like he's going to Dortmund already, the Eintracht Frankfurt. But yeah, there's lots of interesting free transfer opportunities this summer in centre midfield that hopefully we're going to be looking at. But yeah, going back to the match preview, that's Lecce. Not too much to speak about apart from that. Yeah, Baschirotto is suspended. Let's go into Inter now. So usual, obviously, surprise formation, the 3-5-2, unexpected. So yeah, Skriniar is out, so it looks like Matty Doms will be starting once again as he did against Bologna. Happy with that. He does a good job there. Hopefully he is okay. I hope he's not getting drained physically because he has played a lot of football now. Acerbi definitely retaining his spot. De Vrij got subbed out at half time against Bologna. I mean, that guy is so dusted. It's so hard to believe the downfall of De Vrij. I was hoping that he could recover this season, and I'm surprised that Inter, maybe just because we're so broke, that we've offered him a new contract at the same cost. But to me, like, I would cut I think De Vrij's time at Inter is probably over. But again, we're so broke, it probably just makes sense to just renew him. But I don't know. I'm not convinced. So obviously with Darmian starting, it means Dumfries is starting. He needs to improve as well. He wasn't that good against Bologna. Barella, Hakan, Mkhitaryan. Oh, wait. Damn. No Brozovic. Yeah, Skriniar is injured at the moment. So Skriniar and both Di Marco at the moment are injured. And yeah, I don't know actually how serious their injury is at the moment, Mattia. Because I think they said, I can't remember, I think it was a Di Marco, Skriniar. They had one of them had abdominal pain, and then the other guy, I can't remember. So I'm actually not sure how serious their injury. It's not that serious because they're both doubts for this game, so it means that they're not seriously injured. But yeah, Porto's in 3 weeks, so it's 2 or 3 weeks, so they should be back for that. It's just this game looks like not. Hopefully the next Serie A game they could be back in. Gosens is Gosens was even this in the winter transfer window, he was there was those Leverkusen rumors in the summer. Guerrero is he's an interesting one where he's a very different profile from Gosens, but then I think he's too similar to Di Marco, and he's 32 now, Guerrero. 31, 32. Oh no, he's 29. That's pretty decent. Yeah, but the issue with him is he's very similar to Di Marco in terms of profile. You get a very short technical, more offensive left wing back, and you have the same two of the same on the left hand side. But yeah, it's not a bad shout, in the time that if you sell Gosens and you get a guy like Guerrero for free, that's not bad. It's not a bad shout. Yeah, not bad, Georgie. Not bad. I didn't think about Guerrero. Uchiha, good to see you, bro. Good luck. I don't want Lazio, Roma, and CL because they suck. So hoping for the same top four from last season. Yeah, to be fair with Roma though, with these new owners, the Friedkins, they seem to be a little bit more. They're definitely more ambitious than Lotito and stuff. So they will, if they get Champions League and they manage to keep Mourinho, he will push as well. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind Roma making top four because I want to see. I think this Friedkin project could be interesting. They seem quite ambitious. But yeah, so it's yeah, I'm surprised. Again, Mkhitaryan, like, yeah, Eurochance. I mean, I know you're like even you as the Armenian propaganda guy, you're saying give Mkhitaryan a rest. I've been saying this for weeks and weeks because I saw the predicted lineups yesterday. I'm pretty sure I saw let's see what Daniele Mari. I sure saw a predicted lineup that had Brozovic. That is quite surprising. I know that he wasn't great against Bologna, but who was? No one was good against Bologna. Yeah. Yeah, Daniele Mari. Oh yeah, he's got Sky Sports. So yeah. Damn. That is surprising. That is surprising that that Brozovic isn't in the predicted lineup. Yeah, definitely. Hopefully Tottenham. Well, actually, I don't care, to be honest. But either way, I'm winning either way. If Tottenham win, then it's Conte boys, we win. If Milan win, then yeah, it's a little plus for Serie A, but I'm not too bothered about that. Hey, games man from Chicago. If you had to choose Prime Dybala, Prime Lukaku, who would you choose for Inter? I mean, I've always said like like Dybala is my type of player. Like I like those types of players. Like I'll always have technique and that pure talent over athleticism and power, which that's prime Lukaku. But when we signed him, when we were talking about it this summer, the hope was that maybe we could get the prime Lukaku back. I think, yeah, the prime Lukaku, the guy that gets you 25, 30 goals a season, plus all the other benefits of prime Lukaku. It's a difficult one. If you ask me, like personally, I always take a Di Maria, Dybala, like these types of players. I love these types of players. But for Inter, I'll take prime Lukaku, to be honest. Just those 2 years that he had at Inter, that Lukaku, or that especially the last year at Inter, plus that Euros that he had with Belgium, like that Lukaku, that's the one I would take, I think. Next to Lautaro, recreating that Lula, but the opportunity of seeing Dybala and Lautaro linking up, oh my goodness, that's also so tempting, so intriguing. A left footer and a right footer, which is what Lukaku and Lautaro is as well. Yeah, probably still gives me nightmares. Yeah, look at that. AC Milan fans still having nightmares of prime Rome. So yeah, I'm actually disappointed. I feel like Brozovic should continue his recovery now, like being reintegrated into the starting 11. And yeah, Mkhitaryan, man, it's just I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm like a broken record with this Mkhitaryan thing. I just feel like he clearly needs a rest. He needs rotating out, and Aslani obviously. It's yeah, that's his season might as well be over for Aslani. I don't really see where he's even going to get playing time now with both Brozovic and Tala back, because Inzaghi only sees him in this position, unfortunately. And then Dzeko Martinez up front, as we said. It's 50-50 between Dzeko and Lukaku at the moment. Lukaku still hasn't nailed down that starting spot, even though in theory he should be. Now that he's fully fit, he should be an uncontested starter there, but his performance against Bologna didn't really demand that. If you mean like in terms of, do you mean like even next year? I don't know. I think there, as I said, I think there is a gentleman's agreement for a renewal of his loan next year for Lukaku, but I don't think it's set in stone. Like I'm sure Inter will definitely try to reduce the fee and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, I hope it's nothing like that Inter have to do it. I hope it's that not that type of situation. Oh yeah, Freddie, we've been talking about it. I've said it for weeks now. He's the guy that's going to be sold, Brozovic. It's we renewed him. He's the most expensive player in this team in terms of straight up gross wages, because Lukaku earns the most, but gross wages is Brozovic because he doesn't get any growth decree benefits. And Inter are looking at it after his season of injuries. Um, his age 31, when else are you going to monetize for Brozovic? So I think he is the chosen one now, and that's why all those the Kessie rumors are. So the rumor is the swap is a swap deal, but like not like a straight swap. It's like the Arthur Pjanic type of swap. That's what seems to be in the works at the moment with Barcelona. So we get Kessie plus some money. But obviously on the books they will both probably be registered as separate deals, so Inter will get the full capital gains for Brozovic, and then Kessie was a free transfer for Barca as well, so they get the full gains for Kessie. But we'll see. The rumors are heating up on that front, but that is the reason. I think they're planning having Chala and Aslani as the CDMs. You got Hakan, who stepped up in this role, and then you have the long-term position guy in that role with Aslani, which makes sense. The only problem is like you get rid of Brozovic for his wages, but then Kessie earns the same as Brozovic, 6.6.5 million, and I don't think he wouldn't get the growth decree benefits either, because I think he could only get that because I think his residence, he has to change his residence to like abroad or something. I think he still has his house, like it's like some legal stuff that they have to do for that to count for him to be like a player coming from abroad. So yeah, it, it seems like I'm resigned for that to happen. Like it just seems like there's too many. The rumors are so strong now with this Kessie stuff that I think it is going to happen. And we've been wanting him for a while. Conte wanted him. Apparently, Ausilio wanted him since the Atalanta days. And once Ausilio has a player on his list, it never leaves his list. So he's been linked to Inter for a long time. So I see that happening. But it's gonna come at the cost of Brozovic for sure. They won't be able to accommodate another 6 million wages midfielder in there. I don't think they can sell Kelly as concrete offer. Yeah, but this is like, Mohammed, this is coming from them. So they want Brozovic and we want Kessie. So this is, the concrete offer is coming from Barcelona for this to happen. Bertoni, yeah, he's saying, he needs to play Aslani, but a bit more, give him more trust. Yeah, 100%. But unfortunately, he only sees Aslani as a regista. If he saw Aslani as a mezzala, which he should, because Aslani has shown he can also play in those other positions, it's really odd that he just doesn't see him in the other position. So he's not going to get. And in that case, I do agree. Like if you have Hakan and Brozovic in one position, you're not going to play Aslani. But in reality, you should be looking at Aslani as their alternative to Barella and Mkhitaryan as well, rather than Gagliardini. So we're going to lose Brozo and Skriniar this summer. Yeah, probably, Mohammed. Probably. Yeah. I think it's going to be, my prediction is Dumfries, Brozovic, and obviously Skriniar is going. I think De Vrij will reject our contract offer as well. I think someone from, I don't know, Spain or Premier League or something will probably come in for De Vrij. So yeah, we've seen the best of bring in the Pessi era. Yeah, we definitely have seen the best of Brozovic, but I also don't want to count him out because I think his style of play, obviously it does depend on his like physical prowess as well, but he's never been like, a peak athlete in general. Um, so I think he is one of those guys that can continue doing well later into his 30s. He just, yeah, hopefully these injury issues are nothing too serious. Nikhil Foster, Inter, do you celebrate Holi there? Well, yeah, no, not really. If you mean like in terms of how they celebrate in India, no, not really. Yeah, I remember once at uni there was like the Indian Society did like a Sheffield. They had like a little Holi event that I went to, but yeah, it's not really celebrated like that. Why do you think Inzaghi activated Asllani? No, Inzaghi didn't activate that, Mattia. We had the obligation that activates automatically. Asllani was a obligation to buy, loan with obligation. So even if he played 1 minute or 10,000 minutes, we have to buy Asllani. Bellanova is the option. In Bellanova, let's see. I see the newspapers keep writing that Inter looking to take the option, but Inzaghi definitely doesn't seem sold on him. Yeah, I don't really see, 7+3. It was 3+7 for Bellanova, and Asllani was 4+10. So yeah, but apparently the Inter board believes in him, and that's why if Brozovic does go, then he takes that spot as in the vice. Again, well, he was supposed to be the vice Brozovic this season. He goes to vice Brozovic to vice Hakan, but now the only vice, hopefully. Yeah, but it depends on the offers, Gosens. Someone needs to be actually interested. The problem is those Bundesliga clubs are interested, but Bundesliga clubs don't come with like good money. That's the problem. Like Leverkusen came with like a loan with the option. Now, that's useless to us. We need someone that comes in. Like we need like a Premier League club. These types of clubs that come in cash ready. But yeah, I think Brozovic, Dumfries, Skriniar. I think those three. Well, obviously, let's not count Skriniar. He's definitely leaving anyway. That looks like what is going to happen at the end of the season. And then even Dzeko, let's see with Dzeko. They're going to offer him a contract by lower terms. But we need to be focusing on the guy that we want to put next to Martinez. So I hope we are going all in for Thuram, and if we've secured Thuram, dead the Lukaku deal. Like if you get Thuram, you just need to give him that spot next to Lautaro. If it works out or it doesn't work out, like you have to give him that spot. Dzeko, yeah, keep him, and then fourth striker, get rid of Correa 100%. Whether even if it's a loan, get Correa out, and yeah, just get someone else in with something a bit different in there. Yeah, 100%. Nick Snock. It is sad to see all these guys going. They are part of this post banter era good Inter that we got to see. Skriniar and Brozovic, they really built the foundations of that Scudetto winning season. But yeah, this is football. This is football. We have to get used to it as well. As you saw with Skriniar, it's a business. Even the players that we had expectations for, it really is. It is what it is. That's the era we live in. It is. It is what we. It is. It's the. It is what it is era. That is a mouthful. And yeah, of course, the underlying topic of every single stream of any Inter fan in the world: Suning have to sell. That's the only way forward. Off topic, since you're from Leicester, how was the City when they won the league, and you have soft spot for them? Yeah. I've talked about this in the past Euro chance. Yeah, the City in 2016 was absolutely crazy. I've never seen so many Italians out of Italy in one spot because of the Ranieri factor. They became a cult team followed in Italy. Loads of Italians came over. There was a massive concert in this Leicester in the park. Loads of Thai people as well, because Leicester are owned by Thai owners. Loads of Thai people flying in. Yeah, it was crazy. Like Leicester's not bustling, busy city, but it was like, yeah, crazy, busy, hype. It's madness, absolute madness for a few days. Yeah, definitely have a soft spot for Leicester. I don't support them, but definitely have a soft spot for my local team. That doesn't sound like a prediction, my brother. That sounds like that's what you. That sounds like a good scenario. 65 for Brozovic. Jesus. 30, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Dumfries, yeah, Premier League, I can definitely see 30 plus million for sure. But yeah, 65 for Brozovic, I don't know. That seems I know you're compared it to the Pjanic Arthur deal, but I don't think they'll set up something as like that one was just like egregious. That was just a bit too much. But yeah, it could be. You never know with Barcelona and Inter. Like they might try to set that up, something mad like that. That would be really good. But I just don't see that happening. I mean, Casemiro was sold for 60, so I don't know how Brozovic. Oh no, Casemiro was 70, wasn't it? Yeah, I think we'd be lucky to get anything above 30, 40 for Brozo. Oh, that's sad, Mohammed. I know it's the reality of football, but I don't feel like I'm losing any passion. I think you have to just get accustomed to the reality of things. But I do also get that type of feeling that football is changing and maybe it's the passion isn't quite there. I only care about Porto and Juve now. We'll get top four, I'm sure. Wow, Matthias saying he will get top four, I'm sure. Wow, someone screenshot this because I don't want to hear Matthias saying "I told you so" after we lose. If we lose out on top four, then Matthias will do that face, that smug face on Inter Worldwide, the "I told you so" episode with Anthony. He's gonna be loving it. So someone screenshot this so Matthias can't trick us afterwards to say "I told you so" that we'll miss out on top four. But I hope you're right, and I also think we will get top four. I predicted us last week. Someone asked me. I think I predicted us to finish second. So I hope I'm right. Oh damn! Arsenal won last minute. Nice. Yeah, these guys just keep going. Look at that 3-2. Wow. Partey, Ben White, Reece Nelson. Yeah, but I mean, if you ask Arsenal fans, Reece Nelson is like a meme character for them, meme player for them. But yeah, this is what happens, when things go right. Like remember last year or like 2 years ago for Inter, you bring on Matty Darms, he comes on, scores. Sanchez, everyone was contributing off the bench. Even Gagliardini was contributing. Vecino, like it's just when things go right, then everything goes right. It's like Napoli now, you got like Elmas contributing, you got Lozano contributing, Politano, like the guys that they're not even expecting something out of. It's just when things tick, then it is magic. Colombo's got the screenshot. Thank you, my man. Thank you. I think we finished third. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care, to be honest, Nick Knox. If we finish second, third, fourth, well, I do want to finish above Milan. I do care about that. That's like a small, at least, bragging right. But it doesn't really matter as long as we get top four and we progress in the Champions League. That's the most important thing. Yeah. I don't say you said it, but I'm saying that if you do say it, I just want the screenshot to be there in case you try to say like, "Oh, I said this from the beginning" or something. You try to weasel your way out of it. Obviously, I'm joking, bro. Chelsea actually scored a goal. Wow, that's crazy. Conte still having issues with smaller teams. Yeah. His time. Conte one is so weird, man. It's so weird, the Conte thing. Like, I understand like the principle. Like he had to leave because the project he was promised just wasn't there anymore. Suning pulled, the plug on the project and all the stuff that happened to them. So I understand, but you leave 1 year left on your contract. Like, just stay, bro. You're still going to be paid handsomely. And you saw last year, like, that's the thing with Serie A. That's why I keep saying, even with Serie A, even with us not, having Zuning and all this kind of stuff, I still think, we still remain, if we are able to just maintain the level. I hope Ozil and Morata can at least maintain the level of the squad, continue every summer to just even if it's sell, continue to maintain the level. You can still compete. And we saw last year if Conte stayed, he probably could have just, got another Scudetto under him. And then, but going to Spurs, out of all teams in the world, that one just that's confused me. Very, very weird choice. And he signed an 18-month contract, so he knew already he wasn't convinced either. I think just everyone lost out on that. I think everyone lost out on that Conte decision. Conte lost out. We lost out. It would have just made sense to continue finish off his contract. And, he wanted Dzeko is a guy that he wanted. He wanted him as the backup to Lukaku, yes, but still he wanted Dzeko, so he would have made Dzeko. He would have been fine with having Dzeko. Dumfries, as far as I know, he green-lighted the Dumfries transfer as well. That was a transfer that he green-lighted. So, yeah, very, very frustrating, man. Very, very frustrating. Lukaku scored more goals in February than Chelsea. That is hilarious. Which classic Inter kit is your favorite? It's the one I have. I'll show you. This one here. That's the only name I have at the back of a shirt. R9. The original. I think this is 98, 99, if I'm correct. Yeah, this is just good. The old badge. It's just nice, clean, crisp. That's my favorite one. I'm making a video. Yeah, Ronaldo, the GOAT. I always have my pants on. What are you on about? I've gone to state. I'm sure Lukaku. No, I think that was he would have left. I think because he just wanted to get that. I think he wanted to have that. He wanted to prove a point. And to be honest, Lukaku saved Inter in terms of financially. I don't know what would have happened if we didn't sell Lukaku that summer. Imagine, guys, we sold two guys, 60 million, 70 million, whatever it was, Hakimi, 115 million euros, Lukaku. And then we only invested 40, 50. The amount of trouble we were in financially. If we didn't sell Lukaku, imagine what would have happened to this. I think, for Inter's for Inter to stay afloat, that transfer had to happen, or many other transfers would have had to happen if Lukaku stayed. So I think Lukaku he had that kind of point to prove. He had that thing that I want to prove. Chelsea, it was whatever, the money obviously as well. He wanted so. Before Lukaku left, he asked for a contract renewal. So he was earning 7-8 million net. And obviously he had the Serie A MVP season, things like that. So I think his agent, Pastorello, talked about it. They wanted to renew. So if they gave him that, I think Pastorello said if they gave him a renewal and increased the salary, he would have stayed then. But then that's the thing with players, you should know, the Inter, you should understand the situation there. In what world are Inter going to give you a raise? Obviously, probably in terms of he deserved it after winning Serie A MVP. Sure, fair enough, but you have to understand the position Inter are in. So that if Inter gave him that contract renewal, then yes, he would have stayed. But I don't think even Conte at that time would have been able to. Well, Conte himself wasn't convinced about staying. So, yeah, maybe. maybe we never know. Nick Knox, maybe. I mean, Conte definitely had much more gravitas with him, and much more of a deeper relationship with him. And obviously, Conte leaving, you know, Lukaku saw that. Don't know if this is the place for me now. Obviously, he saw the grass isn't greener. I don't know. Is he ever gonna be these allegations, man? Like we're talking. We're at least like 10, 15 years deep into his career, into his managing career now, and this guy still hasn't beat those allegations. It's so funny. Yeah. So at the same time, yeah. I mean, Spurs did spend. Levy's track record isn't great, but at the same time, Ram. The problem is there's so much work to do at Spurs. Like even this amount of money wasn't enough. Like fair play, okay, this gave him like a good transfer kitty, but then like this Spurs team still needs more. That back line, apart from Romero, needs like complete rebuilding from scratch. So it was just a really weird move. That's my first ever Interkit. Very good choice. Mr. Times when players were playing for the jersey. Yeah, different times, but again, people look at nostalgia a lot. Like you have like football in back in the days. I think people look at it with rose tinted glasses. You have, people say, oh, people. You had players like Roberto Baggio who played for like bloody every single team, all the big teams. Played for Milan, Juventus, Inter. Apparently, grew up as an Inter fan or whatever, or he was some sort of affiliation with Inter when he was younger. But Pirlo, played for. He was definitely Inter fan when he grew up. He's managers used to go, Lipico's Juve and Inter. Like money's always ruled the world, and even back then, money always ruled football as well. It was just not as much of a business, and players have more power now as well. That's the thing. Now players have more power than they used to have ever before. That's the difference. Before, clubs you could treat you like a commodity and it was fine, but now players have just as much power as the clubs, with no more power thanks to the agents and stuff. So that's the real big change. Nothing good lasts for us. Yeah, the Pats away. It is the Pats away. It is the Pats away. 2 days we got to celebrate the Scudetto. 2 bloody days. Ugh. Antonio Gonde. 2 days and that psychopath left us. That's all we had. 2 days to enjoy ourselves. Thank you, Noor, on the 5K. Thanks to all your support. That's why we'll be able to do it. Thanks to you guys' support. Italian football in particular had more mercenaries than the medieval. Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's always, to me, it's always been like that. Ram, do you think into 100%. Well, but yeah, this year, I mean, Napoli. I mean, we beat them in the league. So you'd think that we'd be able to beat them in the Champions League. But again, as I said, there's no, even Man City, like there's no real standout team in the Champions League this year, like a crazy team. Like even Bayern, like we played them, and yeah, obviously they outclassed us quite easily, but we were quite bad back then at the beginning of the season. But there's no like a team that's like scary. Like there's no MSN, Barcelona. There's not like a BBC, Real Madrid. Like the teams in like Man City are kind of misfiring this year. Real Madrid, they're doing well in La Liga, but not that well. They're behind Barca. They beat Liverpool, but they weren't. This Liverpool was mid-table till a couple of weeks ago. So a lot of these teams, like, there's no one that's like crazy scary. PSG, obviously, we know just the chemistry just isn't there. So 100%, teams like Dortmund, Benfica, it's 50-50, but definitely I would be confident in those types of games. And we've seen Inzaghi and this Inter team, actually, these are the type of games they seem to do better in. If we get passports, I'm really scared of Real and Bayern, nobody else. Yeah, exactly. Real Madrid, yeah, they have our number. We've had them in the group stages so many times recently. They have our number. But yeah, apart from that, I'm not really too scared of any team. Which was worse, Uncle Mourinho leaving the night we won the Champions League, or Conte after the title? That's a tough one. What do you guys think? That's such a tough question. I never thought about that. Hmm. I think there's actually a lot of comparison to that because Moratti, like when Mourinho left us, is similar in terms of that's when like Moratti's money just ran out. Like there was the tap, Moratti's tap was open for decades and decades. Money was being pumped into the club, and then after 2009-10, the money ran out. Like him personally, like to be a football club owner these days, you have to be like a multi-billionaire. And the Moratti family rich, but not that rich to keep going. I think his company was going a little bit downhill at that time, similar to how Suning was. So there's a lot of comparison points in terms of that. Like, did Mourinho, like Conte, see that this project had no future? But actually, Mourinho was like, it was Real Madrid. It was just like, you can't say no to Real Madrid. So it's difficult. It's different in terms of Conte had nothing. He just left, the bastard. Whereas Mourinho was like, fair play, is Real Madrid. And this was the Real Madrid, Galacticos, buying Cristiano, Kaká, Real Madrid, not the, this is different levels. But I think then is like, especially I was much younger then, so with Conte leaving, I think that hurt more because we knew that tough times were coming. Whereas Mourinho, I think we were kind of like, oh, we still have, Motta, Milito, Maicon, like, we'll be all right. It's okay. Whereas, we should have seen that, this is an aging squad. The average age of that squad was like, all the guys were like 29, 30, 31. There was no future. There was no future proofing in that squad. So we didn't feel that effects until later. Whereas the Conte, I had to do like an emergency live stream on here with you guys the day that he left. Like, it was like, what the hell is happening? So I think Conte was worse. Yeah, it was. Yeah, Mourinho left us on cloud nine. It's like, yeah, I mean, you left us literally. There's nothing more you can do. Like, fair play, it hurts you left, but there's literally, you've won the treble. You're one of the few teams in the history of football to win a treble, Champions League, domestic cup, plus league title. Like, you can't outdo that. Which is also why I don't want him to come back. I just can't. I just can't. I don't want his legacy to be tarnished. That needs to be remain in history. Like Mourinho, those 2 years, that's it in history, set in stone. I don't want Mourinho like Mancini V2 when Mancini came back. It was like not much money to spend, and then he just left us in the middle of the summer. So yeah, both show now nothing good last. Yeah, again going back to that point, Pazza Inter. But yeah, 1 hour 12, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's finish up on match predictions. Actually, I forgot to completely do that. Match predictions for tomorrow, Inter Lecce, 5 p.m. kickoff. And yeah, I mean, Serie A collapsed financially even before that already. Like that was already on the decline. But yeah, the years after it just kept going more and more and more. Milan collapsed, Inter, and then Juve took advantage of that. But yeah, let's finish up on match predictions. Not convinced with the lineup. As I said, I would put Brozovic in there, but apart from that, I pretty much agree with it. Yeah. What do you guys think? Nick Snock says 1-1. Matthias says 2-1. 2-0 Inter, Lautaro Barella. Yeah, I think the fact that Baschirotto is missing for Lecce gives me confidence. And we're at home. Also another one where we talk about this Inter team, but this season, when you think we're at home, we're one of the best teams. We're the best team in Serie A after Napoli at home. So we're a fortress at home. We concede hardly a lot less goals at home than we do away. Like there's like two different teams we support. Oh, Saturnio's been in the stream for a while. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. So, and again, apparently there's going to be 60, 70 plus thousand at the San Siro once again, pushing the boys. So that does give me confidence. And 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. kickoff in Italy time, like It's not one of those early kickoffs. It's a decent. Yeah, I don't know what our record is with these like afternoon type of kickoffs, but I feel like they're not as bad as those early morning ones. So yeah, I'm confident. I think I'm predicting a clean sheet. I'm predicting a clean sheet, and without Baschirotto, I think we can get at that back line 2-0 Inter. That's my prediction. 2-0. Maybe Lauti coming back to scoring, and Gosens goal. Random predictions, but a Gosens or Dumfries, one of the wing backs scoring. That's my prediction. Yeah, that's the stream for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. 2-1 Barella and Lautaro. Positive signs from Lukaku off the bench, but no goal. Darmian Cherby leaks goal. Ponir Onana. I hope not. 1-0 Inter and be a dreadful watch. Again, I hope not. 70,000 guys at the stadium deserve better. I know a couple of guys from here, Daniel and I think Marcello will be at the game. So hopefully they get a good show and enjoy. But thank you everyone that tuned in. Thank you, Mattia. And Uche, get in touch with me. Well, congrats on winning the kit. Thank you for 5K, guys. Road to 10K now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Always Forza Inter. See you after the game tomorrow.